Pisces, what if I told you that on August 28th, you are reaching the end of a story that you have been living for the last 23 years? This was a story about changes in your life in every area: identity, resources, relationships, living situation that were challenging to say the least. But through it all, you trusted yourself when things got freaking hard. Pisces, at the end of August, the lunar eclipse in your sign is showing you that you made it through this upheaval. All of the uncertainty, the hard lessons, and the unexpected turns. And now, the lunar eclipse is bringing a final message for you. The truth at the end of it all. And as we know, the truth sets you free. So yes, Pisces, this story goes all the way back to 2003 when your sign was besieged with one astrology transit after another. 2003, Uranus brought upheaval. 2011, Neptune brought the fog. 2023, Saturn brought the very hard lessons. And in 2025, the North Node brought redirection. But you decided what to do with those energies. You made the choices. You wrote the story. You wrote the book. And now Mercury is in Virgo, conjunct the sun in Virgo, opposite this full moon in your sign. And so Mercury is bringing information and the final details, it's very Virgo, of your story. So we're going to turn to the final page of this long, long story with the tarot. And after everything you've lived through, that you've learned, that you've chosen over the last 23 years, what truth is being revealed and how will you write the ending? So this is such an intense lunar eclipse. It's so significant that we're doing a 9-card spread. So let's see what we have. Your whole life has changed. Let me know in the comments. What are some of the changes that you have gone through, Pisces, with all of this energy happening in your sign? I mean, my goodness. All right, let us see. And what's the last big message for you? Let us see. Now, I've shuffled quite a bit already. I'll just do a few more. All right, let us see. Pisces. No reversals. What do we have? Oh, we have the 9 of Swords. Well, we know that. We know that, don't we? We have the Tower. Okay. Yeah. It was, like I said, it was one thing after another. And the 6 of Swords. Okay, we'd like to see that. So we definitely have, you moving on from a very calamitous situation. Now, it is possible that perhaps the last 9 weeks, 9 months, yes, probably the last 9 years, brought one shock after another. But there could have been something recent that went on. But you are moving out of that. I think at this lunar eclipse, you're going to see that. You're moving forward. We're going to pull more cards. I like to give kind of some details, and then we'll dive even deeper into the details. 7 of Cups. Okay, you got your dream energy back dialed in. The Hermit is in your heart. That is interesting. So the Virgo energy, yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I would need some time to be by myself after all the things that went through, of course. Okay, we'll come back to that Hermit. That's important. And the Ace of Swords. Wow. Okay, interesting. Which is under the 6 of Swords here. So you're about to, I think, make a very important decision about your life. And the other thing too is, the Ace of Swords does look like a pen. So this is you, again, like I was saying in the prelude to this video, writing this last little bit of your story since 2003. But it comes with a decision. Let's see what else we have. Wow, 8 of Wands, that Leo. The 4 of Cups. And the 10 of Wands. Okay. And what do we have on the bottom? Wow, we have the Magician. That is absolutely gorgeous. So you are stepping into your power, into your manifestation mojo, and you're going to make a very significant change in your life. And I think it's interesting because we do have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the number 1 with the Magician. And I think this is the other thing. Let me know if you agree with this in the comments. Now, I don't know if you know, I do have Venus in Pisces. So I know one of the things that I have learned since 2003 is to take care of myself a little bit better, to put my own priorities, myself a little higher on the food chain, so to speak. Has that been true for you also? Let me know. Because I think this is speaking to this. Like, you're done with the sacrifices and the shenanigans of this Nine of Swords. All the sacrifices that you have made, you know, the goodwill that you have extended that didn't always come back to you. You know, you're over that, and you're bringing the energy back to your own dreams. That's the thing I love about the Seven of Cups. And for me, this is Cancer energy, which is your 5th house of your heart space. And this Hermit in your heart and this Ace of Swords, I think you probably will spend some time, probably also in, you know, Virgo season, which is only a few days away, but maybe most of Virgo season, it's possible, where you are just really tuning in with yourself and what you want to move toward next with your dreams. And like I said, I think you're going to make a very important decision. Now, this Ace of Swords was under this 6 of Swords. You could be making a decision to cut loose a person, a situation very suddenly. I mean, maybe it's been done in your heart for quite a while, but you may be taking the outward action to have the conversation, tell the person you don't want to see them anymore, quit the job. I'm not saying to quit your job. That's only if you've been like thinking of that. Always use the energies. This is not me telling you what to do. But it's like there's something that has been disturbing you. 9 of Swords. And there may be this last moment. You know, the Tower is also the electricity of sudden epiphanies. And this Uranus energy is square this eclipse, this full moon. And it's in your 4th house of like your foundation in life. So it's like you don't want to build upon a troublesome foundation in your life anymore. You do not want to. You want to build your life upon some sort of new dream for yourself. And also, I think there's something here about spiritually aligning with a higher purpose. And I'm getting a little buzz, like clearing the decks, not because you're mean, not because you're a jerk or whatever, but because you're bringing this energy back to yourself. This Magician, wow, look, the Jupiter wheel is under there. You're bringing this energy back to yourself, and you realize it's time to use your own magic for your own self and create and manifest things you want in the world. And there is a spiritual gift I think you're going to be really tapping into for yourself as we move forward, as we close out this chapter. Not just because you learned a lot since 2003, but also because that's been in you all along. And maybe because you had so many other things to deal with, it got postponed, or you couldn't invest as much energy into it as you would like. So this energetic chapter you're closing out is going to allow you to ease your mind, release something from your past, whatever's still hanging around. I think there's some, like I said, this 9 of Swords, there's probably something still hanging around. And it's because it's going to set you free to pursue something better, especially like a spiritual alignment. Okay, this is my phone, like imminent threat. Oh my God, there's a tornado warning. Well, Pisces friends, it is the next day after the very dramatic tornado warning. And it was a warning, not a watch, a warning, which means you get out now. So I had to go seek shelter from the very crazy storm that we had. Lightning, there was not a tornado touchdown funnel, but there was rotation in the clouds, enough for them to issue a big warning. There was devastating storms in the whole area where I live yesterday. So we're going to continue with your reading, but I mean, that's a sign. That is a sign from the freaking universe that, warning, whatever is going on at this full moon, your personal full moon lunar eclipse, this last one for you, Pisces, in this long series of energies that we have been talking about, Listen to whatever message, and that was a very strong message, comes through for you. You don't need to second guess. You don't need to overanalyze. Listen to the messages and your own intuition. Very important. Because that tornado warning was divine timing. And also, let's not forget, we did also have the Tower in your reading. Now, I am not saying, something's going to happen in your life. Okay. But it is, again, a sign, something where you can hopefully get ahead of something, take appropriate action, and be safe. So the last line of your reading here, I didn't even get to discuss this, which I want to right now. So we have the Eight of Wands here, the Leo energy, the moving on very quickly and suddenly having more options. But I think there's something here that you are speedily moving toward with something coming in from the universe with this Four of Cups. That's probably going to help you start a whole new energetic cycle. And also with this Ten of Wands, release something that you don't need in your life anymore. As I was saying before about this Ace of Swords, because the Ten of Wands is a wrap up of an energetic cycle. So something may quickly come in, this Four of Cups that helps you get off the fence emotionally, maybe move towards something better, etc., at a very fast pace so that you're eager to wrap up and let something finally go with this Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands can absolutely be an energetic burden that you have been carrying for a long time, as we already discussed with the other stuff going on in this reading. So very nice energies here, but I just feel like you could be very surprised with the speed at which you move towards something much better for yourself. And also the fact that we did have the wheel, the Jupiter energy showing up under the Magician, does suggest to me that once you focus your mind, which is also this Ace of Swords, you focus your mind, your energy on what you can do with your gifts and talents and options and etc., you can make things change in your life very quickly. So we end a burdensome cycle with the Ten of Wands and we start a new cycle with the wheel here of destiny toward creating a life, because that's the Magician, creating a life that is so much more magical and aligned for you. But first, we may need to deal with something. And Pisces, when one era ends, naturally, we start wondering what comes next. And if you want to understand the astrology of what's unfolding in your life, then my personalized Stellar Spotlight astrology reading may be something you're interested in. It's on sale until August 31st. You tell me what's going on in your life. I look at your birth chart and the astrology ahead, and you get a 33-minute recorded reading to help you understand the energies and how you want to use them moving forward. If that interests you, the link is in the description. So Pisces, thank you so much for joining me today. Would love to hear your story of the last 23 years in the comments. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.